Welcome back to hard mode SnowRunner, everybody. Alright, we're still on Drummond Island here. I am going to see if I can hit a couple of these watchtowers real quick. But otherwise, we're just going to go back. Wouldn't be a terrible idea to try to get to Island Lake, too. Because it would be nice to be able to... I'm sorry if my voice is kind of raspy today. It's early. I haven't really talked a whole lot yet. But yeah, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to try to go to Island Lake. Try and get the twin steer. I can't get the P16 unless I repair those bridges yet, so we gotta do that. But that pretty much involves... going through the other gateway to get here. So... Not that that's not possible, but, you know. I know there's bridges on Island Lake that need to be repaired as well, so it's going to be a bit of a process here. I'm not really sure if I can even safely do this, to be honest with you. I've been playing a lot of SnowRunner again. I don't know, I've kind of been getting a little bit burnout from grinding through Infamous, so I don't know. I've just been playing my other save file for a little while. I'm on North Carolina. I'm probably about halfway through North Carolina now. But it's like, as long as I've had this game, I can never get caught up with the, like, regions. I'm always behind. I'll get close, and then, like, they'll release the next region, and then I'll be behind again. Oh man, it is very early. Alright, so I had a comment from someone. Someone named Nebula God 3140. At least that's what it shows me in your comment, but like in my notifications it says Roboto 1, so I'm not sure what your name is. But either way, you asked what I do for a living. So I've talked about this before in some of my past videos, like not my hard mode playthrough obviously, but I have, you know, I've been playing SnowRunner on this channel for a while, so I have my other save file, which is just my normal mode save file. I've talked about my job in that previously, so without going too much into detail on it, like, you know, exactly where I work, I do have a background, education, whatever you want to call it, in like live sound. So it is what I do for a job. I'm an audio technician at a venue, and I work there full time, which means I work 40 hours a week, and I get paid a salary. I'm not an hourly employee. I do get paid a salary. Oh, this might be bad. There we go. So there's 4 of us that are full-time, that are technicians, technically. We have our production manager, and then we have our, you know, our main lighting guy, or L1 or LD, whatever you want to call him. And then we have our main audio guy, or our A1. you know, that's how it goes. And then I'm also an audio guy, but I am not our A1. Um, my main job is the event side, so like anything that has to do with private events, you know, corporate events, those kinds of things. I am usually the technician that is defaulted for those. And they're typically just like, you know, they're very, very simple events typically. Like a lot of times I don't really have to do much other than like maybe turn a microphone on for someone, or, you know, just monitor like our little Q pack. We have a Allen and Heath Q pack, like rack mounted mixer in our ballroom, and then I have an iPad that I can control it with. So it's just basic things like that. It's super, super easy. But yeah, so that's my main job. But then also I need to try to go back and I guess go over here. I don't know. It was already hard enough to get to that watchtower, but we'll see. So yeah, so but I can also mix. So like I will mix in the auditorium as well. I typically do the smaller bands though, instead of like, you know, the bigger things that come through. Although if a bigger thing does come through, they typically tour with their own engineer anyway, so it's not really like we mix it most of the time anyway. But the smaller things that come through that don't have someone that mixes, I'll mix those. You know, I know what I'm doing. Our A1 trusts me. He knows that I know what I'm doing. So, but yeah, so I do mix in the auditorium. It's just I don't do it as often as he does. But yeah, so we have our auditorium, then we have 3 other event spaces, and you know, those are just, they can be used for various things: weddings, birthday parties, anything you can think of, corporate events, whatever, you name it. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to get back. See if I can go over here and ride this edge, maybe. So I work 40 hours a week. Typically, I would say 36 to 40 hours a week, but I get paid for 40 regardless of what I work. So even if I work, like, say we have a particularly busy week, like the first week of April, I'm scheduled for like 57 hours, I think. Since I'm salary, I'm only getting paid for 40, which kind of sucks, especially in this industry, because we tend to work longer hours like that. But I do have some other perks with my job that isn't necessarily like usual, or like, you know, it's kind of rare to find a job like I have. A lot of venues don't hire full-time technicians because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, that's why a lot of venues will use unions, like the IATSE unions and things like that. And IATSE is just it's just a union of, it stands for International Association of Theatrical Stage Entertainment, I think that's what it stands for. I could be wrong, I don't know. But anyway, so a lot of venues will use unions, like you know, any venue you can think of out there most likely just uses a union to staff their shows. And then whenever the tour comes through, they obviously have their own, you know, technicians that are on the road that tour around with the tour. So they just need union hands to help with whatever else the day of. But with the venue I work in, we used to be contracted through like a third party, basically, which is just a local sound company. And we used to work for this local sound company, except for one of us, and we would just get called in to work shows at the venue. But the venue wanted to move away from that because it was always just inconsistent. There was never a consistent, like, set crew, and like sometimes, you know, they'd have people in there that didn't really know what they were doing, and they just wanted to hire people that they trusted and people that they knew what they were doing. So when that happened, because I had worked for this sound company, so when that happened, I had applied for the position because I applied for the event one specifically because that's what I had done most of the time anyway. It just worked out better for me and my wife with my schedule. It was easier for me to take like the private events that were typically in the evening rather than work, really long show days and stuff. Oh, I'm stuck on roots, aren't I? But yeah, then to work on really long show days. So I would just take those private events most of the time, and then, you know, I I kind of go way back with the lady that runs the like private events side of our business. So like I've known her for a really long time from a previous job, um, and she just she likes me. She's known me for a while. She trusts me, so she knows. She put in a good word for me and everything. So I pretty much had gotten the job as soon as I applied for it, essentially. And I talked about that in, I think I was on British Columbia region whenever all that was happening. So I talk about it a lot in that, how I might be getting a full-time job and the videos aren't going to be as frequent anymore, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so I had done that. And the reason why, like, I guess I need to go further back here. I worked at a movie theater for a very long time, like when I was in high school, um, after I came home from college, all that stuff. I just worked at this movie theater because I used to do projection, like used to do 35 millimeter film projection. So it was just, I don't have any fuel to, oh yeah, I have a fuel carrier. Um, so, I used to run the projectors when I was in high school, and after I came back from college, the movie theater reopened back up, and they needed people to run projectors. So I, obviously knew how to do it. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come in and do that. And I ended up staying there for like 10 years, doing various things. And went all the way up to like operations manager. Like I had been there for so long that I was promoted and whatnot. And then COVID happened, and the theater shut down, and we all lost our jobs. So, I guess I was unemployed for from like March 2020 to like, I don't even know. It was it was a little over a year, and then I had gotten a job at a Martin's Deli because I couldn't find a job anywhere. Like it was awful. And because like what I have an education in, even like that was all closed. Like you couldn't do anything. There was no concerts happening. None of that stuff was happening. So oh God. This is like miserable. Keep getting stuck on everything. So I only worked at that deli for maybe 2 months, 3 months, and I ended up quitting because it was an awful job. And then I just so happened to be contacted by the lady that did all the scheduling for the venue I currently work in. And this was the contracted sound company, though, at this time. So, I already kind of was in good standing with them because they knew me from before. So it was easy for me to just, pick right back up and go back in there. Now, it had been almost 5 years since I had worked in that building, and a lot had changed since then. They had a whole they made some changes to the building and renovations and things like that. So like it was a different building essentially, aside from the auditorium that I came back to. But anyway, that's kind of sums that up. But then when I had applied for the job, like they had known me from before because I worked there even before that. Like when I had come back from college, I was also working at this venue, kind of just, you know, picking up shows and things while I was still working at the movie theater. Like, I had like 3 jobs at one time at one point. I was doing residential, like, AV installations, like installing TVs for people for like a local family-owned, like, install business in the town I live in. And then I was working at the movie theater, and then I was also working, you know, doing like gig work stuff. So I was, you know, I was busy. And anyway, that's kind of sums all that up. So I'm like rambling at this point. I kind of lost my, I don't even know where I'm going. I wanted to go to that watchtower, but I don't think I can get to it from, oh yeah, I can. I just drove past the, that's alright, we're just exploring and I'm talking about this, so. Alright, so I applied for the job, I got the job, blah blah blah. That's that. Now, like I was saying about how I work 40 hours a week, roughly, and I get paid for 40 no matter what, whether I'm under or over. The reasoning behind that is because if they paid us hourly, it would be insane, especially during our really busy months. They would be paying us overtime and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, like, I get why that's, you know, it sucks we don't get paid hourly, and it sucks we don't get paid for the extra hours we work over 40. But at the same time, I do have other benefits and perks. Like, we often get to go on trips a lot. Like, I might be going, we as a crew might be going to a convention down in Florida in June. So that'll be really fun. We'll be down there for like a week, you know. I mean, it's a work trip, but we'll still be able to, like, you know, have fun and do fun things while we're down there. Because our boss is just cool like that. But then also over like Christmas, we get like a full 2 weeks off because we're closed. Like, the building is closed for 2 weeks over Christmas and like New Year's, and we get paid for that entire time. And it's not like we don't use any of our vacation time for that. We are just paid for those full 2 weeks, and we don't have to come in and work at all. So that's something that is just doesn't happen in most places. There's also like a week in the summer over like July 4th where we're pretty much off for the whole week and we get paid for it. You know, again, no vacation time, no nothing. It's just, we just get paid for it. We just have a bunch of other random holidays throughout the year that we get paid for that aren't like federal holidays typically. It's just days that we're closed and we get paid for it and it counts as a holiday for us. So like, there are a lot of benefits. And then even like the day, if there's a week where we do work over 40 hours, like say I work, you know, 55 hours one week or whatever, they'll might, like, if they can work it out, if there's a week where we're not really specifically very busy and I have a bunch of like admin days, as I call them, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more here in a second. But if I have more than if most of my days are admin days for a week, then they'll just like not schedule us at all, and we'll just work like the show days or whatever. Basically, like, subtract the hours from 40 that we worked over in a previous week, and let us work a shorter week, but we'll still get paid for 40 hours. So like, it all ends up, you know, balancing out in the end. But when you tell people about it, they're like, damn, that sucks, you don't get paid like overtime or anything. And it's like, yeah, I really don't. But I don't know, you know, my coworkers are sometimes salty about it all, but like, in my opinion, I could never find a job like this anywhere else. And I love my job, I love the people I work with. So to me, it does suck sometimes. Like, I have a couple weeks coming up that are going to be over 40-hour weeks, and I'll admit I'm not looking forward to it, but I'll get through it, and it'll be alright. Alright, so now the question that that was asked in a comment that I said I would talk more about in my next video was, what I do for a living and to explain the admin job. So I've kind of talked about what I do for a living. I am an audio guy. I like, I like audio. I like to mix. I like to make things sound good, and I just, I enjoy the whole encompassing side of live performances, whether it's concerts, musicals, anything like that. I'm just kind of looking around here. All right, so this is really all I can do here. So I guess I need to go. I don't know if I can get that upgrade. It might be kind of hard to get that upgrade. But let's go back to Smithville. I need, if I'm going to be talking while I'm driving, I need to map my path. I really would like to get that upgrade. We'll see if we can get it. I don't know. Okay, so I don't really remember where my train of thought was going there, but yeah, I like live sound. I like live performances. It's just I enjoy what I do. And then the private event side is just an easy part of my job. That whenever those events are happening, it's just a super easy week for me, and won't lie, I like those a lot. So we also do really fun events too. Like we'll do like murder mysteries, we'll do like drag brunches, we'll do just really like fun kind of things like that. So we do a lot of fun stuff, and it's not just birthday parties and weddings and corporate events. Like we do a lot of other things, events that we come up with ourselves and host ourselves. So those are fun. Okay, so now say we have a week where we don't really have any events, we don't really have any shows. We may have like a show like on a Friday or something, but that's like it. There's nothing else. So with that show I'd probably be scheduled maybe a 10-hour shift, probably from like 1 p.m. to like 11 p.m. or whatever, somewhere around that time frame. Then the other 30 hours of that week would probably all just be mostly made up of like admin days. And an admin day for us is really, it's just a day that we're there, that we're in the building, but there's no show. So we have things that we can work on. Like obviously there's things on stage that we can fix or tidy up or whatever. Sometimes we have plans to do things like run new cables places. Like we're always trying to figure out ways to make our productions better. So if that means running a new Cat 5 cable for, a video projector or something so that we can do it in a better way, then we'll do that. So like there's those kind of things that we'll do. We'll also just do other maintenance items that we have to do. And then we'll often get tasked with a lot of bitch work too, which the other guys complain about this more than I do necessarily, but I'm a handy person when it to begin with. Like I like to fix things, I like to tidy things up. It's just kind of how I am. So like if something breaks in my house, I'm gonna try to fix it before I call like someone to come fix it. Like I've fixed my dishwasher before, I fixed my dryer, like my clothes dryer. I fixed all kinds of things. I figure out what part's broken, I get the part number, order the part, and reinstall it. Like it's not that hard. So that's just the kind of person I am. So I don't really mind doing those things. We have a bunch of like the seats that you sit in the auditorium are like kind of like movie theater style seats, where like you sit in the seat, like the seat flips up, and like when you sit in it, like it you sit down and it like folds down. The seat covers on those are like vinyl and like a cloth, whatever. And during COVID, they were cleaning them with like Clorox wipes and stuff, and it like deteriorated the like vinyl on it and made them crack, and then they just started to peel and stuff. So one of the things that I do on admin days is recover the seats. So like I will pull off the old messed up seat cover, and I call them skins a lot of times. and then I'll put the new one on. And I've gotten really, really good at it, and I'm really the only one that does it, and I kind of like it that way. So I don't really want anyone else doing it because they just don't do it very well, and they don't like doing it anyway. So it's really only me and then the 2 maintenance guys that we have that do that job. But then again, also, like, I'll help those maintenance guys with other things too, because like I said, I am just a handy person when it comes to that kind of stuff anyway. So I am usually the one they come to for anything like that if they need help with something. And it's funny too, because one of our maintenance guys, we have 2, they're older guys. One of them's 80 and the other one's 60. But the one that's 60, I used to work with him. His brother is the one that owns the install business that I worked for a time. So he used to actually be like my install partner. I'd go on all kinds of jobs with him, and we'd hang TVs and whatever else. So we go way back there as well too. But yeah, so he knows, you know, I'm good with tools and things of that nature. So he'll often come to me if he needs help with something. But those are the kinds of things that I'll do on admin days. Like, we'll do maintenance items. We'll do, you know, we'll work on things that need fixed tech-wise. We'll just various stuff like that. We'll even help with office stuff sometimes if they need help in the office doing things. We kind of just help wherever we can. Just, you know, just to make time up and just, you know, be paid for doing a job. So that's really all an admin day is. And if you ever hear me talk about an admin day, then it's just a day where I don't really have a whole bunch of responsibilities. It's just I have to go in and do some work for the day. I used to be in charge of inventory at the movie theater. Like all of it. Like damn, how have I already gone through all that fuel? As part of my job as an assistant manager, I was tasked with doing inventory. So that included counting everything in the building and ordering everything in the building. And I did all of it, and I was really good at it. Whenever we got taken over by another, like, theater company, because the business was sold, and then that business is what went out of, the one that bought the movie theater is the one that went out of business during COVID. And then now that theater is owned again by the people that sold us to that. And it's a whole convoluted mess. There's another story there too, which I've talked about that in previous videos as well, but I'm not going to get into all that because it's just way too long of a story. All right, now I want to go back, so I just need to follow the road to the right. So yeah, so I have a background in inventory management and all that stuff. So I help count. I only do the private event alcohol inventory. So anything that we use for private event alcohol, which is just, you know, our canned beers that we sell, and then for private events we use full-size wine bottles instead of like the small single-serving wine bottles that we sell at concessions as well. So, like, you know, if you're at a private event and you ask for like a glass of Chardonnay, they'll pour it out of an actual, like, you know, whole wine glass instead of just give you like a small single serving of wine. It just is classier, I guess you could say. But yeah, so that's what it is. So, you know, I would say about once every 2 to 3 weeks I will usually count our inventory. It depends how busy we are with private events that have bar and whatnot. So, which most of our private events do have bar, but it's not always. We do have private events that don't have a bar. So, but yeah, I have a unique job. I definitely am aware of that. I know in the industry that I work in, it's really, really hard to find a job like this. Either you go on the road and tour around, or you somehow manage to get a job like this where you work in a venue. And it's really, really difficult to find a job as a technician to work full-time in a venue. Because, like I said, there's not always a show or an event happening. So they don't need to have technicians there all the time. And that's why we often during the week will have admin days like that. What is this number? Hold on, I need to answer this. Alright. Sorry, that was a medical call that I needed to answer. I knew what it was going to be. But I just need to answer it. Okay, so anyway, let's... this engine is broken. I don't think I have anything to repair with. Shit. What the hell? No, I just have tires. Alright, that's just, it's gonna have to be what it is. I don't really have any way to fix it right now. I work tonight at 4 o'clock. We have some, it's an event, it's a private event. But it is in the auditorium, which is odd. So there must be like presentations or something. Alright. Oh, I forgot I'm all the way up here. What? I don't have much money. How do I, like, I never have money, man. It's awful. What can I do? I guess I could do this. I can get concrete slab from here. And the service spare parts from there. Yeah, so let's just do that. Okay. And my truck is here. We got on time. We're doing alright. So I hope that explains my job a little bit, I guess. I mean, I've talked about my job a lot. I try to be as discreet as possible about it. But yeah. Like I'll never say like what, unless it's been a while, but like I'll never say like what I'm working, like who's coming to the venue, or like if it's a comedian or a band or whatever. I never say any of that because I don't want someone to like try and pinpoint my location by like being like, oh, it was this day, where was this band or this comedian on this day. Like it would be really easy to figure that out, so I'll never say who specifically it was. But like if it's been, you know, a while, a couple weeks, and like the show's already over, I won't say the day it was, but I'll like be like, oh yeah, we had this guy in the venue the other day, and blah blah blah. So not that I'm like some big wig on YouTube or anything, but still, like I don't really want to be posting that kind of stuff to the internet and then I don't know if I can get up that. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty steep incline. I'm gonna just go this way. I need to get a trailer too. Where's my trailer at? Where the hell's my trailer at? That sucks. It's really far away. I really don't want to buy a trailer either. Oh, there's one right there. I'll just go grab that one then. Alright. I also get a lot of comments if people say I'm like super, they appreciate how like calm and chill I am, which that's just how I am as a person. I'm not like, I don't get overly excited and like yell about things. Like, I mean, it depends. If I was like playing a game that was challenging and I was like really struggling to do something and I like made it through like a boss fight or something and that I'd been trying for a while, you know, I'll be like, you know, I'll like, you're like, let's go, like things like that. But like, I'm not a super overly hyped person. I'm very, very, very laid back. Alright, we need to go up here and get service spare parts, and then we'll go grab that trailer, and then grab that concrete slab, and then we'll take it to the quarry. I've been driving a lot of vanilla trucks in my normal save file, though. North Carolina is so crazy, man. I have so many trucks deployed out in so many different places. It's just wild, like... There's a lot of driving around in that map. Like, a lot of driving around. Like, you have to do, like, full-on, like, drive 3/4 of the way around some of the maps sometimes just because of how the maps are laid out. Like, it's very, very weird. And, like, the one map, the gateways are, like... I don't know. This isn't exactly accurate, but we'll just say, like, if you're looking at the map, the gateways are in like the two bottom corners of the map, but then there's like a river that splits the center of the map. So you have to, in order to get from like one gateway to the other, the only way to get there is to do like a full, like, you know, half circle of the map, like a full, you have to go all the way up to the north and around, and then turn around and come all the way back down the other side. Like, it just takes forever. So like, I have trucks with, you know, fuel tanks on them sitting around in random places, because like, even with my modded trucks, that I still run out of fuel a lot. Like, I have to constantly be fueling up things. It's just crazy. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I see, like, I'm so used to playing normal mode now at the same time that like, I just totally forget that things like that cost me money. Like, that just cost me $300 to do that. I should probably go get fuel. Because if I don't, I'm going to run out. So let's just go get it. I guess I could just go straight across too. I don't usually have any trouble with that. There's still a ton of upgrades around this map that I need to collect. But my Chevy's damaged. It needs to be repaired. Which isn't impossible to do. I need to drive it back to that service trailer, and it's kind of far away right now, so. Let's just take this path. We should be fine. It's probably not going to save us any time, because we're just going to creep through here, but I don't think it'd save us any time or fuel, to be honest. I should be able to get this job done, though. The goal is to at least get 2 episodes recorded today. I might be able to do 3, but we'll see. My wife is leaving work early today because we have to take our cat to the vet because she's not doing well, and I think it's, you know, probably about to be her time. She's 20, so she's an old cat. My wife's going to be real distraught, but because normally I wouldn't see my wife until I get home from work later tonight because I have to work at 4 and she gets off at 4, so. But we're taking the cat to the vet at 2 o'clock, so. I'm off tomorrow though too, so I'll be able to record more tomorrow anyway. Tomorrow being Tuesday. This video will be up today, the 24th. So do not worry, I will have more videos ready for the next couple of days too. Well, every other day. I'm trying to stick to the every other day schedule as best as I can. If I miss a day or two, just know it'll come back. Just gotta have a day to record. did not get stuck like this last time I came through here. What the heck? Let's go, truck. I know I could switch to low and put on diff lock, but we're moving. We're just moving really slow. But yeah, I'm using this Fleet Star in my normal save file. I have a fuel tank on it, and it works really well. I mean, I can get this thing anywhere. Granted, I'm max rank, so I have all the tires and all the upgrades available to me. But honestly, it's not. I don't have much more in it than I do in this one. But also, the problem with North Carolina is there's a bunch of places that need generators, so like you have to have a truck attached to the generator to turn the generator on, and every time you leave the map, the generator resets. So it's just better to leave a truck with the generator attached to it, so you can just jump in the truck and then like turn the generator on. Is there anything in this? No. And I'm not damaged, so we're fine. We're going to be cutting it close, but I should be able to get this done. But yeah, it's just, in my opinion, it's easier to just leave a truck. Like there, I can't use that repair unless I have a truck attached to it, which is annoying. But I do have that Kodiak sitting right there. I just wish I could make some money, man. I feel like I'm just constantly don't have money. I'm just like tired of it. I really thought I would have more money by now, but especially because I haven't really made any mistakes lately. I've been doing really well as far as, you know, not flipping over and not recovering, but like I still like cannot make money. I don't understand. Granted, these past couple episodes I haven't done a whole lot of tasks and contracts. I've been just driving around. But alright, there should be a trailer right up here that I can grab. And then I can go back and grab that concrete slab, and then we'll run it up here. Oh, there's wood on it. Well, I need it, so I'm gonna have to take the wood off of it. I'll just leave the wood at the place. I don't know what I did with it. I don't remember where I left my trailer. It's somewhere. It's one of the trailers that are sitting here on the map, but I just don't remember where I left it. sure I need these wooden planks for something somewhere. Oh, come on. Really hate these trailers so much. Whatever. Just auto-load it. I'm running out of time here. I don't have much time to get this delivered. It's really wild though, like the contract list in this map is so small compared to North Carolina's. North Carolina's is crazy. This is heavy. You can tell by how slow I'm moving. Is that where I wanted to turn? No. This is... And then... I don't know if I can make that turn. We'll try. I've done it before, but I don't remember if I had a trailer with me. Oh, I'm not packed. It's the other turn that's hard to make. But I guess I could go around. almost there. Alright. So now this gives us access to sand, I think. No, not sand. Cargo containers. We don't have sand yet. It's not a cargo in the game at this point. Alright, well that's that for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my story time of telling you how my job is, whatever. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a good one.